Councilmember Rick Cole here in Old Pasadena in front of the Friendship Baptist Church where Dr. Martin Luther King preached in 1960 and again in 1965. Over the past week through these videos, I've tried to bring you timely and practical information for coping with the firestorm emergency. But today I'd like to take a step back. It's the eve of Dr. King's birthday and also the inauguration of a new U.S. president. Dr. King was, of course, known as a champion of racial justice, but he was equally a fervent champion of economic justice. And the bitter lesson that Katrina taught us is that often it is the poorest and most vulnerable among us who suffer the most. And unfortunately, in this horrendous catastrophe we've been experiencing, that is again proven true. The neighborhoods largely made up of Black and brown working and middle-class families in West Altadena were ravaged with thousands of homes destroyed. And out on the fire line have been nearly 1,000 inmates of our California prisons, putting their lives on the line in 24-hour shifts, but being paid less than $30 a day. And we are seeing thousands of families needing homes, but we can't let that end up displacing our existing residents. That's why it's critically important that we not only maintain the protections of Measure H, but we rigorously enforce them to make sure that no family loses their home in order to find a home for a family that's lost theirs. And we can't forget those who were out on the streets before this catastrophe. Nearly 300 of our neighbors. I'll be pushing for a permanent year-round shelter to make sure that everyone in the spirit of Dr. King has a place to call home. He died fighting for justice. He died fighting for the workers of Memphis, Tennessee to have a fair wage. And near the end of his life, he spoke these words: "I choose to identify with the underprivileged. I choose to identify with the poor. I choose to give my life to the hungry. I choose to give my life to those who've been left out. This is the way I'm going, and if it means suffering a little bit, I'm going that way. And if it means dying for them, I am going that way." Let's not just remember those words. Let's emulate them. Let's bring them to life. Let's make sure that in this emergency, everyone ends up with a home.